today. There's something... It's the 30th of June. Oh, goodness. It's going up to 30 degrees today. It's really, really warm. So I've not had much to do today. Well, I have had things to do, but I just can't bear to do it. I've changed my beds and done some washing. But as soon as you move, it's just so hot. So I'm just keeping the curtains closed and trying to get some air circulating just to cool the room down. But I have been doing some reading recently, so I thought I would share my books that I have read. I'm just going to get my story graph up because I can't remember what I last told you. I think I'd been reading, I'd been listening to I'd read A Curse Carved in Bone, which was the Viking one. I think I talked about that. Then I had listened to Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I'll put a picture up. An audio book. So this is a story written by the chap that wrote The Martian, and it's soon to become another film as well in the next year or so. I don't normally listen or read to science fiction, or I don't know what else you would call it, but that kind of story. But the narration on this audiobook was absolutely brilliant. And there's a lot of scientific speech and things like that, but the way that it talks you through it, you just... obviously the way that it's written as well, it just made total sense. It's quite a heartwarming story. I can't tell you a great deal about it because there's a lot of... Yeah, I'll give it away. But it starts with a man who wakes up and is on a spaceship and he can't move, and he is like he's lost all his memory and everything. And he slowly starts to realise that he's been sent up in a spaceship to try and save the world because the sun is dying. And you slowly learn more about him through his memory coming back, and you learn more about what he's got to do to save the world, basically. But yeah, it's a really, really good story. He's a fabulous main character, and the people that he meets are brilliant also, and it's just a really sort of heartwarming story in a way, and you know, about the friends that you meet along the way. Really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it. I give that 5 stars. It's been a really good month this month. I also read the second in the Heart and Mercy book, so I read The Undermining of Twyla and Frank. I took this on my holiday to Italy, which you've seen a little vlog of if you've watched that. So the first book is about Heart and Mercy, who are... Heart is a marshal in this fictional fantasy world where like there's these undead things that they have to kill, and Mercy is a undertaker. They put a lot of inference into the way that you are passed on to the next life, if you like, in this world. So she is one of the undertakers that is, and they're sort of enemies to lovers in that story. But in this one, The Undermining of Twyla and Frank, these are old friends. They're an older couple, so she's like 53, I think she is. And they are both marshals, but I can't say a lot about that because it'll give away stuff in the first book if you've not read it. They are both marshals, and they're sort of finding that they feel more about each other than they thought they did. So it's like a friends to lovers kind of situation, but really, really heartwarming and cosy, and a good holiday read, I would say. It was like being wrapped up in a little warm hug. I really enjoyed it. And there's some good older lady traits that she shows that quite I mean, I'm not an older lady, but I like a big knicker is what I will say. I've also just finished this one, which I got from the library, which is A Little Trickery by Rosanna Pike. It was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction, and I'd seen Lauren in the Books mention this on her 6-month wrap up, where she was talking about her favourite books of the year, and this was in one of them. It was good. I did enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed the main voice of the main character. It's set in Tudor times, so the times of Henry VII, so after the War of the Roses and the Little Princes in the Tower, that kind of thing. And it's about a young girl called Tib who is a vagrant, and she lives her life on the road with her mum, who then passes away, and then she's on her own, and she meets a boy called Ivo on the beach, and they become friends. And you're basically following Tib as she goes through this life, finding new talents that she didn't think she had, and trying to find a roof of her own to call hers. And yeah, again, it's found family and friends that you meet along the way. And the little trickery that it's about, it does go on a little bit longer than I thought it would, but it is good, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I would recommend that. It's a very an interesting read. It's a bit different to what I would normally have picked up, so I'm happy for that. I have also just this minute finished listening to The Women by Kristen Hannah. Now, I read The Nightingale last year, and it was literally one of my books of the year, and I had this as a book, but I wanted to listen to it because my sister recommended that it was a good audio. I think I'd forgotten that I actually had it as a physical copy, but yeah, so I listened to the audio, which I really enjoyed. It was Kristen Hannah has a way of writing women's characters that are so tangible and real and likeable. So in this we follow Frankie McGrath, who is a young girl whose brother goes off to fight in Vietnam, and then she follows him then into service as a nurse in the Vietnam War. So there's quite a lot of hard-hitting, difficult reading in there. There's very traumatic events that happen while she's in Vietnam. Obviously it was a terrible conflict, and a lot of people died needlessly in that kind of time. And when she comes back from war, and also all the people that came back from the war, a lot of them were treated very poorly, and the view of the war was not a very positive one, and many people didn't even believe that there were women in Vietnam, which of course there were. And there's a lot of trauma and self-acceptance and therapy that's going on post that but it's also about her friendships and her family, and just the way that people were treated. So it's a bit of a hard read, but it is very emotional, which I think that's Kristen Hannah's kind of writing. But yeah, very emotional, very heartwarming. The characters are lovely, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it another 5 stars. So yeah, another good read from her. I will probably go back one day and read the actual physical book, just to get that extra feel for it. But I did enjoy the audio. The narration was very good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, so that's it for now. I need to now pick another book to read and a new audio to read. But I have got another book from the library on the pile, so I'll probably read that because that needs to go back fairly soon. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to cook for tea. I need to go to the shops. I'll probably just make some salad and stuff because it's just too warm to be cooking, and it's going to be too warm to eat, I think, really. So I'm going to nip to the shops and get a few bits, and and plan what I'm going to make for the rest of the week. But yeah, it's too hot to do anything today. So hopefully it will cool down tomorrow and I can film a podcast, because I'm not doing it today. My craft room is so close and sweaty up there. I have finished a shawl which I've put some footage in. This was a sample for Suzanne from Green Lambkin Yarns. I saw her at the Wool Monty, and she was saying that she needed some sample knits doing, so I said, oh, I'll do some for you. So she sent me the stuff, and it came just as soon as I'd got back from my little holiday, and I cast it on straight away, and I've literally finished it in a week. It was an absolute joy to make. It's the Fleur shawl by Espace Tricot, and yeah, it was a really fun knit. I really enjoyed doing it, and yeah, I will share some more about it on the podcast tomorrow, which will be quite thin because that is all that I've worked on. But I'll see if I can pick up some other stuff tonight, or if I can share anything else with you. But for now, I'm going to say bye bye and go and do some shopping.